Happening in the South later tonight for Democrats and Republicans. Let's head over to John King. He's watching all of this unfold, specifically the Huckabee-Romney factor, which was very significant in West Virginia, we just saw a little while ago. But what's going on big time right now?
Well, a lot of talk going into the night, Wolf, that it's a chance for John McCain to take command of the Republican race. So the flip side of that is how would either Romney or Huckabee stop him? So let's look at the various scenarios. Number one, let's start with Governor Romney. He has to win his home state of Massachusetts. John McCain went up there yesterday. Most Republicans think Romney is safe there, but that's one to watch early. Romney needs to win that to prove he's viable. Then, as you said, West Virginia, that was a state Romney wanted to win. Huckabee wins that, so that's a disappointment in the Romney campaign. So where do they go next? Very much hoping that they can win down here in Georgia. And as you just noted, we will get results early on that one. So for Mitt Romney, you believe your conservative message, I'm the conservative alternative to John McCain. He hopes to sell that in Georgia. Then the next big test for Governor Romney is right here, the bellwether state of Missouri. Same for Huckabee. All three Republican candidates hotly contesting Missouri, hotly contesting Georgia. Those will be key to watch. And then Governor Huckabee's not playing out here, but Governor Romney is. So if you're Romney, that's very big for you.
That's the big prize tonight, California.
Very big. And I want to clear the board quickly so we can go through Huckabee, and I'll use red for Huckabee. If you're Huckabee, you've already won West Virginia. You're off to a good start tonight. To make the case that you're not just a player in the race, but you can be a player for the nomination, he needs to do much better across the South. That would be Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and his native Arkansas. For Huckabee to get back in the race.
We assume he'll win Arkansas.
We assume he will. We'll see where the votes come in. But to prove that he's not just a factor in the race, but a player in the race, he has to do better than that. Has to pick up these southern states. Tennessee would be good. Again, he's tried very hard here. Strong evangelical base in southern Missouri. He's campaigned a bit in Oklahoma, and he's campaigned a bit up here for social conservatives in Minnesota. Those are the states, if you're Mike Huckabee, to be more than a player, but to be a factor, you want to do better. You want to move over to Oklahoma to Minnesota, and Missouri, again, is the huge prize, Wolf, for all of the Republicans as we start to make our way across.
And let's take a look at the Democrats now, because Georgia is an important state for Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, too.
Georgia's huge for the Democrats in the sense that if you're Barack Obama, remember, you won South Carolina, and the lighter shaded states, we should say, are the states that have already voted. Those states have already voted. Barack Obama won South Carolina based on overwhelming African-American turnout. He has the potential to copy that right here in Georgia and Alabama. If Barack Obama is going to have a good night, it needs to start in Georgia with a win, Alabama in a win, smaller African-American population in Tennessee, Arkansas, of course. Hillary Clinton, before she was the first lady and a senator from New York, was the first lady of Arkansas. So one would assume her old supporters will take care of Arkansas for her. But again, you come back to this same state. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Missouri tonight. It is a bellwether state. It is very representative of all the ideological ranges in both parties. A heavily African-American city in St. Louis, rural Democrats out here, evangelicals in the Republican Party. So we're going to come back to Missouri over and over again tonight in both races, Wolf. And of course, ultimately, we get out to California.
Well, let's talk about California on the Democratic side for a second, because as important as the popular vote is going to be, and it's going to be very, very important, the delegates for the Democrats, the way they proportion and decide who gets those delegates is going to be really significant.
And that's why I pulled this out, Wolf, because California will be 53 different races. These are the congressional districts, those little lines you see inside. And let's assume that let's say, it's hypothetical, it's early, let's say Senator Clinton wins the vote statewide. Some would say, wow, she's won California. Well, that's not necessarily a big deal, because the delegate map can change based on congressional districts. Now, Senator Obama is the darker blue, Senator Clinton is the lighter blue. Let's watch how this works. If Senator Obama is winning the congressional races, and look at the delegate number, if he's winning the congressional districts, he's mounting up delegates even if she's won the statewide vote. So it could have a huge impact. Watch those numbers on top. Depending on how you do the congressional, doesn't matter who wins statewide. It's all by congressional district, and how the congressional districts go is how the delegate numbers end up at the end of the night.
It'll be a decision that all of us have to make, everyone out there in the country who actually won California, if there's a split decision. One of the candidates wins the popular vote, but another candidate actually gets more delegates.
And we are more likely to know who wins the popular vote first. Not definitely, but you might hear, if you're watching at home, you might hear Wolf Blitzer tonight say Hillary Clinton has won statewide in California, but Wolf Blitzer will be very smart to say right after that, but that's not the most significant question. The question is who gets the delegates, and to do that, it's much more complicated. 53 congressional districts, it's 53 different contests, Wolf. It's complicated, so it makes it fascinating.
And what's fascinating, especially about California, is we've seen these Republican candidates go into heavily Democratic districts, like in San Francisco, for example, and Democratic candidates go into heavily Republican districts in Orange County, for example, because they know that those congressional districts are significant in terms of racking up delegates.
That's absolutely right. And you can pick a winner. You can say it's the same thing. You can say Governor Romney wins the state, but the whole thing can move based on how the congressional districts go. So you're right. You had Mike Huckabee up in San Francisco, Nancy Pelosi's district, probably the most liberal congressional district in the country, the man who's the most culturally conservative Republican candidate up campaigning in there. So it's district by district by district, and you have to remember that as the night goes on. And again, see, watch this. Watch, if you turn this, watch the delegate numbers. That's Mike Huckabee. There's John McCain. Goes up. All depends on congressional districts. You see how the state just switched? State just switched from a McCain state, a Romney state to a McCain state. So we'll know the statewide winner, Wolf, but the math is done in each of these districts, and that will affect the numbers that matter,
and it's going to take a while to get there. Let's go to the finish line right now and show us what we're going to need to see.
You want to get to the finish line?
Yeah.
Let's stay with our delegate map. If you want to get, here's your finish line, right here. There's your finish line, okay? So let's start giving
I'm on the Democrats.
We're on the Republicans right now. We're on the Republicans right now. You have to start giving away states to make it happen and to move the votes over. We're stuck on the telestrator here. You start moving states over. You give that to McCain. Let's say he wins that. There we go. We've got to give that to him. You see the line moving?
Yep.
That's picking up delegates. You start winning states, and I'm just doing this hypothetically just to show you how this works. This is not to say Senator McCain would win these states, but you watch that happen, and this is based on proportion. It's in the states that are proportional, he's getting a proportion of the delegates.
So what we hear you saying, and our viewers should get ready for this finish line, to that finish line right there, and that will be the winner of the nomination.
And we can say with pretty near certainty, neither the Democrats nor the Republicans will get somebody to the finish line. The question at the end of the night will be who's closest to the finish line. Senator McCain is hoping to get way out like this so that the other candidates start thinking, if McCain is here and the other guys are back here, and I should have done that in a different color, the idea would be we can't catch him. That is the dynamic Senator McCain wants at the end of the night. But to do that, he better win Missouri. He's going to have to do well in California. We got a ways to go.
We got a lot to look at here. I want to bring in Lou Dobbs because he's got the best political team on television. We're, about 2 minutes away, Lou, from the polls closing in Georgia.
Absolutely. 2 minutes and now 11 seconds.